Mott Middle College High School, located on the campus of Mott Community College, was started in 1991. It offers a fresh start for high school students.
The school serves students from the 21 school districts in Genesee County and districts geographically adjacent to Genesee County.
The students complete a 5-year program of study that integrates a college course of study with Michigan Merit School graduation requirements. The meeting of students' needs, both academic and affective, drives instructional practice and guidance services.
I'm Cherry Wagelander. I'm the principal of Mott Middle College High School, now referred to as Mott Middle Early College High School. I was the founding principal, so I was hired a year before the school opened. So in actuality, I've been working a little bit longer than 20 years on this project. Genesee County had been exploring for quite a while programs across the nation that were effective in minimizing dropout rates. And that was when I found out that they wanted to use as its model the middle college on the campus of LaGuardia Community College in New York. Students who are bright but not feeling that they are really becoming the scholars that they have the ability to become, were going to be offered the opportunity to come to this campus, reinvent themselves, learn together, and become college ready.
Dr. Wagelander made sure we invented everything. We didn't assume any school practice was going to be a school practice. We literally had to think out everything. And so that was pretty cool. It was a huge opportunity for creativity.
In essence, we put together 12 working committees to solve 12 major obstacles to opening this school based on the design of the middle college and on LaGuardia's campus.
The unique thing was we were getting students from all the districts in the county.
The ISD put together a huge committee of people before the school opened, and they included counselors from all the various districts. Some counselors who really bought into the project, they were the ones that really sent us students. Fenton was on board. Mr. Wood came from Fenton.
When I came to Mott, what I realized is that education was for the individual. It was not something you were doing for your school or your teachers or your parents. You were really doing it for yourself.
I always remember the number, 349 adults served at no pay on these 12 committees to help solve the problems and issues we would have to solve when we went before the Joint Board of Education of the GISD and the Board of Trustees for the Mott Community College, presented our plan and sought approval, and we were given approval, the green light to go ahead with opening the first year of the Mott Middle College High School.
September 1991. The top article is Mott Middle College brings kids to campus.
It was so exciting. It was unbelievable.
So there were 8 teachers, Cherry, and those students.
They're very much like our students now.
Kids who might have been listening to Kurt Cobain before he was popular.
I think we were smart to open slowly, to open with 1 grade at a time, and I can still envision that 120 10th graders coming from all 21 districts hitting this campus and us moving forward with integrating them into thinking about college and designing and cleaning up their content deficiencies or their credit deficiencies, and literally having an opportunity to dream and then create what your dream was all about.
The big question was, are the districts, because even 20 years ago, was declining enrollments, and our district's really going to release students because they had to be released by the district, and they did.
We were committed to doing all kinds of new things, things that the research said made a better education.
It was amazing. There was basically 8 people on staff and 125 kids, and we were all starting it.
We were building the school from the ground up. People weren't telling us what to do. We were doing the research, mastery learning, self-esteem training, and we were very committed to the at-risk project.
And the at-risk population, it's an odd term, because I think we're all at risk at some point and to some degree.
Of course, what made us unique and different and really, really puts, I think, the signature on the school is the whole idea of location, location, location.
How do you feel about Mott Middle College students?
I think for many people it was really quite a shock, and some people were quite opposed to the idea because they weren't quite ready for the normal adolescent behavior.
I think it's a wonderful idea for students, and it's better than the alternative.
College administrators were so helpful, and we had already talked about what might be the hardest thing to do, which would be to expect teenagers to assume a more adult demeanor and decorum on the campus.
I think it's okay, said a third student, as long as they stay out of trouble.
But back then we were still trying to get people engaged in school, taking students who didn't really want to be in school, high school anymore, and doing the sell job, convincing them that it was in their own best interest.
I think they are a little rambunctious. So that's not that different from the kinds of comments that we see and we have here 20 years later.
Everybody was invested, even the students.
Because I think we were committed to find ways to help kids discover for themselves what it is that they're interested in.
We really created a family environment here. More of a situation where we're getting students that are still at risk, and many of them are academically and behaviorally at risk, but we're getting them earlier. So it's not as much of a last chance as another chance.
Mott Middle Early College is serving as a model for dropout prevention in the state of Michigan.
I think Mott as a high school is just, it's not a traditional high school at all.
The blend, the mix of it, it's unique.
They guide me to, different stages for me to be a better person.
Focus group is, I think, incredibly essential. I think the focus group gives us a sense of community that breaks down walls between cliques, walls between gender, race, community, where you're from, and it gives you the opportunity to do things that you can't do in a regular school.
I like the environment, man, and I like the students here. They're pretty cool, and the teachers are better.
Here, people embrace individuality like no other school I've ever been to.
It feels like a family, and the teachers actually do care. They're not the first ones out of the school at the end of the day.
They feel at home.
The students that I teach and feel that I'm successful with want to be here, and I think that that's a common theme.
A revolution came when we did this rollover to become an early college.
And I like the fact that we could go to college and high school at the same time.
They prepare us for college, and we actually get to take college classes, so it's like we're young adults, and they prepare us for the world of work.
I think now I'm a lot more prepared to jump into a college, like a university, than if they just throw you out there once you're a senior. So, the transition's smoother.
More of our students at an earlier age are in college classes, and professors see it, they become more accepting.
Sometimes when they are challenged in college level courses, they'll be inspired then to go on. And especially when they're able to look back and say, I did that. I was able to succeed. Sometimes they're the first ones in their families to graduate from college, or sometimes even to graduate from high school. And to see themselves succeed in that way can serve as a real impetus for going on.
The teachers, the way they teach and the way they treat their students is something I have never seen before.
It seems like the teachers care more.
The teachers will always help you no matter what circumstances you go to. If you need help with any situations or any assignments, they'll help you on that.
I know Mr. McHugh, who doesn't teach here anymore, he had a big impact on me. And I still think about, one day he was talking about just conditions in third world countries, and he goes on this huge thing, almost like a rant about on and on and on about what it's like in conditions. And then at the end he goes, so think about that next time you take a drink of ice cold water. And he goes, so good. And like to this day, every time I take a drink of water, I think of Mr. McHugh and this huge long speech about third world countries.
I couldn't possibly give as much to kids as they've given to me.
The administration and teachers have made to try to do something beyond the norm.
I had a Holocaust survivor come to my class, and I had a sign up that said never again. And she said, take that down. And when a Holocaust survivor tells you to do something, you tend to do it. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, she had survived Auschwitz, and she had survived Bosnia, the ethnic cleansing that I just taught my Explore America kids about. And she says, it's not never again. It's never again, right here, right where I'm standing, I can stop hatred. And that's why I teach the Holocaust class, because it's a step toward stopping hatred. And I really love the fact that I'm allowed to do that, because it's a very powerful class to teach. It's very important. It makes me choked up to think about it, that I get that. I get to do that. That is cool.
Well, I think the school will sustain itself. In fact, I think the middle and early colleges in our nation will sustain themselves because we now have a national recognition.
It's been a continuous improvement process to where it's actually being recognized today.
I know that if you look at the student body now and you look at statistics, we haven't strayed from our mission, that we still are serving at-risk students without a doubt. I think there's more in the county now than there were 20 years ago.
I believe that Mott Middle College is here to stay.
What I hope to see in the future is that not only do we spread this around the state of Michigan, which we are doing right now, and obviously around the country, but we also use this type of school to be on the forefront of education reform.
But it's important for the educators that are a part of every part of this collaboration to feel they're being touched by that same purpose, that same philosophy.
Not only can we celebrate the success of the Mott Middle Early College for the past 20 years and for the impact that we have had on the lives of so many of our students in our community, but as a result of being a national model, we are now impacting the lives of so many students throughout the United States.
If we do a better job as a state at getting all kids ready, then this is open to anybody.
If we maybe set aside more time to maybe collaborate with each other about specific students, it may be that we'd be able to more effectively work with those students.
This marriage, this collaboration between the high school and the college just continues to live on, because I do think this is a great experience for young people.
And as we go forward in the future, that bar is going to be raised even further.
And I think our work has just begun, because we're going to be doing more and more coaching and outreach, not just with districts opening isolated whole middle colleges, but middle college programs, enhanced dual enrollment programs, embedding college readiness curricula into full high schools and full districts. So I think that's where the movement is going to go, really becoming a K-16 plus educational system together.
I want to be a veterinarian,
combat photographer, and a journalist.
I wanted to be a mathematician.
I want to be a poet.
Robotics, maintenance, and programming.
Electrical engineering or computer engineering.
I want to be a cinematographer.
I want to be a computer engineer.
I just want to take pictures.
Working on cars. Play music around the world. I want to be a hip-hop musician and sell out shows across the world.
I want to be a nurse and a fashion designer.
I want to be a dentist.
I don't know what I want to do yet.
Perfect.
Mott Middle College.
Well, number one, a Mott Middle College student is not a high school student. A Mott Middle College student is a college student who's finishing high school.
Mott Middle. This school was talking about taking and making a difference in people's lives and pushing, pulling, helping them get as far as they wanted to go.
But they might remember that you said something to them to comfort them, or you gave them a positive stroke, or shared some kindness. That's what we're in public service for.
Mott's a great school. It gives you a lot of opportunities.
I really love the college experience that I've gotten here at Mott Community College, and I would have never been able to do that at such a young age.
At least the sun's shining, you know what I'm saying? It'll feel good though.
I fed my baby some peaches.
Mott Middle College. This place embraces you for being different and being creative and stepping out of the box.
No, most of the things that make it different also, I think, make it better.
It's cold.
Yeah, where's it cold?
I left it inside. I just got my sweater.
Mott Middle College.
Mott Middle College is great. We just had a fire drill in the middle of my class.
Mott Middle College really does a superb job of taking that raw material and putting them into this incredibly fine jewel, and in this case, the starfish.
Mott Middle College.
Innovation is possible in the public system, and I think our school is living proof of that.
I would recommend this school to anyone who are really serious about their educational experience.
And I thank all the teachers, I thank all the administrators, and I thank all of those that had the vision early on in the 90s, and really late 80s, really when the vision started, to not only have faith in us as individual students in this Genesee County area, but also to have faith in Genesee County itself as a society.
More excitement, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be here. I feel happy for once in my life at school. That's all I got to say about that.
Let's go.
Yep.
Class is in session, people take notice. Mott Middle College student on my way to focus. Never enemies, happy's what we tend to be. They care about your life and how you're doing academically. So never giving half and half. If you have any questions, you can ask the staff. If you late, then you better have a pass to class. It's Mott Middle College, homie. Class clown is back.
Now in the ninth, I was like, nah, I don't belong here. So yeah, I was just preparing myself for a long year. GPA boosted tremendously. I never felt so accomplished academically. Went from hanging out with negative associates to attending a school where I could get my associates. I used to skip class, it usually was math, and everybody friendly from the students to the staff. In my childhood, nothing was ever promised to me except for my allowing me to go to college for free. Now I'm graduating 5 years later, it's cool. The overall message here is about staying to school. Yeah.
Just like that. Just like that.